by the way, Raybone, that's the line that Yahushua comes to. That means that Yahushua is not an Israelite, according to your fucking dumbass, man. That's how stupid you people are, man. That's all. And you niggas are buying to that shit. Because this nigga's saying that a woman got seed. He's trying to say that the word Zerai, the Hebrew word Zerai, is talking about the man's seed and the female seed. A woman that don't have no fucking seed, man. Do we really have to go back to a fucking grade 3 sex class, man? Sexology, physical, the physical class where they teach you about the woman's egg, the sperm meets the egg and all that crap. That's how stupid you fucking niggas are, man. Cause you niggas bow to this fucking woman, man. This woman ain't nothing, man. Alright? The word woman means servant from the Latin. Get your facts fucking right, man. In Genesis 3:16, the Most High made, matter of fact, I'm going to get that, because that's an important scripture. Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. You know what the word rule means, man? I don't have to explain that shit. Maybe I do, because you guys are fucking retarded, man. And then probably they're gonna say, oh, thou shalt bring forth children. The woman don't bring forth children, man. Without a man's seed, a woman cannot become pregnant. That's why these fucking dykes today, right? They can't bring forth children. So what do? They go to Frankenstein Esau, which fucking genetically creates sperm from a man, which a man gets fucking paid to nut in a fucking capsule. They use that shit to make a fucking baby, because they know that two women cannot fucking produce, man. You bunch of stupid people, man. Bunch of retards. It's like I'm dealing with fucking third graders here, man. You know? Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. Alright. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and 1. It says, I myself, this is Solomon speaking, I myself also am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth, meaning Adam. And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood, of the seed of man. Hold on, so he mentioned his mother's womb, fashioned to be in the flesh of time, 10 months, being compacted in blood, right? Of the seed of man. Alright? So how did he come about? He didn't come about just from his mom's womb. He told you of the seed of man. The word seed again in the Greek is sperma, meaning sperm. And the pleasure that came with sleep, meaning sex. And when I was born, I drew in the common air and fell upon the earth, which is of like nature. And the first voice which I uttered was crying, as all others do. I was nursed in swaddling clothes, and that with cares. For there's no king that had any other beginning of birth. So there's no other king that had any other beginning. We all came from the seed of man. Alright? Now let's go to Genesis 5 and 1. It says, this is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that the powers created man, in the likeness of the powers made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day they were created. Now I'm going to look up this word generations in the blue letter. Alright, let's look up the word generations, right? Because our generations done by, whenever you read a generation, for example, if you go to the book First Chronicles in 1 and 1, it always says son of this, son of him, son of him. It always mentions the man, because it's all about the men. Okay? Alright, this is the word for generation in Genesis 5:1. Thawaldawath means descendants, results, proceedings, generations, genealogies, account of men and their descendants, genealogical list of one's descendants, one's contemporaries, course of history, begetting or account of heaven, metaphor. Down here it says generation, families, races. So he gets a little deeper, races now. According to their races, and then it quotes Genesis 10 and 32. Now let's go to Genesis 10 and 32 for 1 second. Alright, this is Genesis 10:32. These are the families of the sons of Noah, after their generations, and their nations, and by these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood. All right, because it's all about the men. It didn't mention the woman. They all had women. You know, the people that went in the ark was Noah, his sons, and their wives. But it didn't mention nothing about their woman. You know, genealogy, pedigree. Back again, that word pedigree. All right, so you know, the point is up here too. Account of men and their descendants. So when it says generation, the word generation goes back to generate, which is genus. Like I said, all going back to beget, produce. How do you produce? The man plants the woman. The man plants the seed in the woman. That's how you beget. That's how you produce. That's how a generation comes about. With the man. Okay? Now I'm going to go to another topic, which is the same, really different aspect of the topic. Color does not apply to race. Meaning that you can't look at someone and say, okay, this guy looks white. You know, he's an Edomite. That it doesn't work that way. Because really, in reality, color does not apply to race. What do I mean by that is, you can't look at someone and say, okay, this guy's brownish, he's probably Indian or... No, you can't say that, you know. Now, physical features are one thing. The Most High, you know, he made physical features to different kinds of, you know, different nations and this and that. But what really counts is the seed. It don't matter really how he looks like, because the Most High can make any man look like what he wants him to look like. But it goes back to the seed. I'm gonna really show you, because back in the ancient world, really, color didn't matter. In the Roman Empire, they didn't care what color you were. You know, if you were Jake, you know, jet black, I'm talking about, but you had talent, guess what? They'll take you up. You had Jakes up in being politicians, being generals, being senators, high positions, man. It didn't matter about your color, man. It really back then it was about, you know, who your father was, what tribe you were from, and what nation you belong to, of what family you're from, you know. If you're a renowned family, they would say, oh, okay, you know. Like, for example, the descendants of Aaron, the Levites, the high priests. You're the descendant of Aaron, you know, of the tribe of Levi, of the nation of Israel. That's what mattered. Alright? So now, I'm going to go to this book called The Truth About the Black Biblical Israelites, Hebrew Israelites, by Ella J. Hewley. Alright? And this is from page 35. Because really, Esau, he created this crap about, oh yeah, you know, if you look white, you're white. And, you know, because remember, this devil, he's a deceivable serpent, man. And you got to study to show that self-approved, not being a workman, not being ashamed. Right? This is page 35. It says the biblical account of creation indicates that God created man in his own image out of the dust of the ground. This would include one race of mankind, some of which later became different colors over the centuries because of climatic conditions and by the will of God, which is bullshit. It don't matter what climate you're from, because what proves that is, look at the Eskimos. They're way up in the Antarctic and they're still dark as hell. And by the will of God, which was manifested when two nations were born of Rebekah, Esau and Edom and Israel. Prior to the 17th century, 1600s, less emphasis was placed on race and or color. In the 17th century, Johann Friedrich Blumenbach was the first to divide mankind according to skin color. Prior to this time, the people were named after the country in which they lived. Example, the name was equated with the country, you know. Just like you had one of the disciples, I believe it was Simon the Canaanite. That don't mean he was a Canaanite. He was from the land of Canaan, you know. Because that's what sometimes that was sometimes your surname, you know. If me in the ancient world, Yeromia, I would be from the land of example Mizraim, Egypt. Yeromia, the Mizraimite. That don't mean I'm a Mizraimite. You know, sometimes that's how you get your surname. But really what mattered was, like I said, your nationality, your father's house, what was your father's name, you know, what house were you from, what tribe. Because, for example, Tobit, when he asked the angel, because Tobit was really on that, he asked, what tribe are you from? What's your father's, what's your father's name? What nation, what tribe are you from the nation of Israel? That's what really mattered. All right. And now I'm gonna go to Babylon to Timbuktu. You brothers know this, by Rudolph R. Windsor. I'm gonna go to page 20. All right. This is page 20, and it says down here, the ancient people did not classify races according to skin color like the modern nations of Europe and America. The ancients, including the Greeks and Romans, identified people according to their national or tribal names. They used such names as Visigoths, Vandals, Saxons, Ethiopians, Carthaginians, Jews, Arabs, Persians, Babylonians, Egyptians, and Moors. They did not use the term Negro, which is a modern term, to refer to black races, or the word Caucasian to refer to the white races. That's because the Caucasians, and the word Caucasian, that's not even a race, man. That's a term. That's like a surname. Edomites, the Caucasians, because these devils weren't up in the Caucasus Mountains at this time. That's why they weren't called Caucasians. Dividing the world along a color line was an idea that originated with the white supremacists in Europe after the Renaissance. Now, that's a key point right there. After the Renaissance, what do you have during the Renaissance? Esau coming up, and this time he knew he had to come with a different ball game. He had to totally confuse the hell out of people, because if he didn't divide us by color, because really, these devils, they read the scriptures, they know the prophecies. Like in Hosea 7:6, Ephraim is a cake not Ephraim has mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. Meaning one side is light, one side is dark. Some Ephraimites are light as hell, some Ephraimites are dark as hell. Which really Ephraim represents the northern kingdom, so it goes for all the 10 tribes, nine tribes, So these devils have to come with a different ball game, because if they really didn't focus on color in this day and age, you wouldn't have this beef between Ephraim and Judah. Mexicans saying, "Oh, I'm white, man," or Ephraimite Puerto Rican saying, "I'm white, I'm not negro, I'm not moreno." They will focus on nationality and tribe, and when they go back to nationality and tribe, when you really study that, you really know that you really end up at being an Israelite if you're of the tribe. So Esau said, "You know what? We gotta divide even more." And this devil, he's a real fucking serpent, man. All right. So it says, the Europeans did not have any great civilization immediately after the fall of Greece and Rome, because they got put up in the Caucasus Mountains, which that's how they got their name, their surname, Caucasian. Caucasian means dwell of the Caucasus Mountains. So I'm gonna jump down here. All right. It says, in the 17th century and later, Europe began to emerge out of the slough of ignorance, and certain Germans and others conceived of themselves as belonging to a superior race. Johann F. Blumenbach, a German 1752 to 1840, was the first to divide humanity on the basis of skin color. Up to this time, no such attempts had been made. His classification set up a color line to the detriment of later generations. What does the word detriment mean? Let's look it up. Like I said, man, this truth is truth, man. I can't say it no better. This truth is truth. Like I told you, these devils, they have a plan, and really that plan is orchestrated by the Most High, because to show that they're the devil, they know that they have a short time to reign. Once they got up in from the Caucasus Mountains, they had their renaissance, their rebirth. They knew that they had a short time, so they had to bring their A game, man. Alright? So the word detriment, alright, means loss, damage, disadvantage, or injury, a cause of loss or damage. Alright? So, like the word deter means to damage. So, yeah, so what did it say? It said, up to this point, no, it's like his classification set up a color line to the detriment of later generations. Detriment means damage. That's why you people are so fucking bugged up. That's why even though he's a fucking demon, I gotta big him up. Fat Joe. He had an interview with this black woman. She said, "Oh, what do you think